Hello everyone, it's me again. So the topic for this video is about Gemba Kaizen. First is what is Gemba Kaizen? It is an increasingly popular management technique by visiting the place where work is done. Leaders gain valuable insight into the flow of value through the organization and often uncover opportunities for improvement and learn new ways to support employees. The approach is a collaborative one with employees providing details about what is done and why. So the first one is prepare the team. It is important that the team members who will be observed and engaged during the walk have a good understanding of what a objective is and how it will be useful. They should know that the purpose is ultimately to remove obstacles that make it more difficult for them to add the maximum amount of value. Talking about the walk before it happens will help everyone feel more comfortable and open to the interaction. Number 2, have a plan. A different approach in which leaders simply wonder about and get involved in what employees are doing. During the activities or the tasks, the manager will ask very in-depth questions about the process being observed, like who is involved, what materials are used, what do you do, how do you know what to do, when does the task take place, what depends of the outcome, and how does it involve that degree of depth, nor does it usually have the same focus on asking open-ended questions. Leaders also spend time at the tasks or the activities to make sure they better understand the work, but at the same time, they don't worry about being experts in the work because they can rely on the insights and expertise of frontline staff. Number 3, follow the value stream. The biggest opportunities for improvement are found where there are handoffs between processes, departments, or people. By following the flow of value, these areas with high potential for waste can be observed and issues uncovered. It is a good idea to invite employees to suggest processes, shifts, or work areas that might benefit from a activity or task. Not only will this potentially point you to opportunities to improve that you may have missed, but it will also make the process feel like more or two-way street. Because they're the ones on the front line doing the work, they are more likely to have insight into the processes and areas that could use another set of eyes. Remember, the value you're bringing to the table is fresh, perspective, and old processes. By asking people where this would be the most helpful, you're engaging them in the process and making it apparent that you're there to help, not criticize. Next, number 4. Always focus on process, not people. The activity is not an employee performance evaluation. The purpose is to observe, understand, and ultimately improve processes. The activity should never feel punitive, and it is not the right time to engage in employee task management. It is helpful to prepare employees at the activity by letting them know that you'll be asking many questions about how, when, and why things are done. You should be clear that you aren't looking for right answers. What you need far more are answers that are honest and complete. If your work isn't being done according to the standard, you want them to say so and not cover it up. They need to understand that your questions come from a genuine desire to understand. Number 5, document your observation. Because there's a lot going on during the activity and you'll want to remember it all later, it's important to bring along tools to log your observation. Like log it your observation. So while we restating the obvious here, a way to jot down your observation is essential because the time to react to what you observe is about your activities, not during it. You'll need a way to remember what you saw and thought. Ideally, you'll be able to submit your observation into a continuous improvement platform via a cell phone or tablet so that you can follow up on them later, track their implementation, and record the impact of your activity. A pen and paper will do a pinch, but make sure that you still follow up on them afterward. Next is a camera. It may be very useful later to browse through a gallery of images or maybe even a few quick bits of video. But be sure to be respectful of any people you might photograph. Because if cameras are not appropriate for your workplace, some graph paper for sketching out the layout of people and equipment may be useful. Last is an open mind. You don't want the observation to be tainted by preconceived notions. For example, don't assume that your work is being performed to the standard or that each person perform each task is the same answer. Number 6. Ask questions. One of the most difficult things to do in the activity is to put aside assumption about why work is done the way it is. Don't assume that everything is being done according to the standard. Instead, ask employees why they do things the way they do. Ask about how the work is documented, how they manage exception, and why operations are performed in a particular order. Next, number 7. Don't suggest changes during the walk. A Gemba walk is an opportunity for observation, not action. It may be very tempting to jump straight to a solution or make improvements on the fly, but changes should be made only after a period of reflection. And when leaders throw solution at people, you undercut their ability to learn and practice problem solving on their own. Number 8. Walk in teams. So, while not every activity needs to be a gym endeavor, bringing along a leader from a difficult functional area of the organization can be a good way to get another point of view. People who are less familiar with a process might ask a different set of questions that sheds light on the work in few ways. Next, number 9. Mix up on the schedule. We absolutely encourage leaders to mark time in their calendar for the activities, but it shouldn't be a recurring activity that happens at the same time each month. In order to get a complete sense of what happens in the process, it is a good idea to do the activity at different times of the day, days of the week, and parts of the month. Last, number 10. Follow up with employees. Sometimes the results of the activity will be immediately obvious as changes are made or an improvement cycle is started. But even if there will be no immediate action as a result of a particular walk, it is important to follow up with employees. Share what you have learned and communicate what next steps, if any, will occur. Many of the techniques that other people use to eliminate waste and streamline the flow of value to the customers are like this Gemba Kaizen. Simple yet incredibly powerful, but simplicity should not lead to complacency. Proper execution is essential for the best result. Sticking with these best practices will help ensure that you come away from each walk with the information you need to make good decisions about how to improve processes and results. So that's all for today's video. Hope you like, learn, and enjoy this video. See you next time.